Celeste claimed we had an immediate, profound connection. She insisted we become best friends, then pushed her luck by demanding I become the honorary aunt to her son. I assumed she was one of those women who'd had a child late in life, so I was picturing a toddler in diapers. However, when I clocked out that evening, a man was waiting by the office entrance. He wore a sleek black ensemble that hugged his broad shoulders and tapered into a slim waist. It was lethal. I couldn't help but stare, right up until the moment Celeste waved at him. "Son, over here! Son!" I stood frozen for a beat. "Celeste, do you have a younger son at home?" "Not at all." She beamed with a pride that bordered on vanity. "I only have one. He graduated from an Ivy League medical school. He's a surgeon." Whether he was a surgeon wasn't the point. The point was, a man towering nearly a head taller than me, and I was expected to be his honorary aunt. Just kill me now. I tried to beat a hasty retreat, but Celeste latched onto my arm with ironclad enthusiasm. "Don't you go anywhere, dear. Let your honorary nephew treat us to dinner tonight." I offered a strained, awkward smile. Before I could find an excuse to escape, the man had already closed the distance. "Mom!" He addressed her with a low, melodic tone, a voice so smooth it felt like a crime. Celeste gripped my hand, introducing me with fervour. "Marcellus, this is Mackenzie Burns. I've looked into your compatibility, and you're a perfect match." His brow creased, a flicker of irritation crossing his features. He ran a hand through his hair, trying to deflect. "Mom, I've told you plenty of times. I'm not interested in dating right now." Celeste shot him a sharp glare. "What nonsense are you spouting? This is my dearest friend." She patted my hand. "The energy is right, so you're going to address her as your honorary aunt." The silence that followed was heavy enough to choke on. "Aunt?" Marcellus raised an eyebrow, finally shifting his gaze toward me. Locked in that stare, I gulped. This nephew was dangerously attractive. The build, the face, the effortless polish. His eyes swept over my features, and he curled his lip into a smirk. "An aunt this young? I had no comeback for that." Thankfully, Celeste was relentless. She bundled me into Marcellus's car without giving me a chance to protest, barking an order. "Drive! Your aunt just moved to this part of the city. Take her out to try our best local bistro." Marcellus climbed into the driver's seat. He caught my eye in the rearview mirror, his gaze deepening with a trace of amusement. "Of course," he said softly. 10 minutes later, we pulled into a parking garage. Marcellus unbuckled and stepped out, coming around to open my door. He kept his eyes on me, that strange mocking smile still tugging at his lips. "After you, Auntie." He seemed to have adjusted to the title remarkably quickly. The word Auntie rolled off his tongue with a disturbing amount of ease. Once inside the restaurant, he led us to our table. He didn't speak again until we were seated, his tone flat. "This place is quite famous. You should try the signature steak." I nodded, feeling entirely out of my element, and managed a stiff word of thanks. Celeste was nothing if not intense. As she insisted on pouring my Chardonnay, she launched into a rambling explanation of why this aunt arrangement was necessary. First, she insisted we were kindred spirits. As her closest friend, Marcellus was naturally obligated to treat me with the respect due to a family elder. Second, she claimed it was an old family superstition from her grandmother's side. Bringing a guardian aunt into the family was supposed to act as a charm to invite good fortune and bless the family line. My jaw nearly hit the floor. I'd never heard of such a thing. Celeste took my hand, sighing with maternal frustration. "Mackenzie, you see, Marcellus is perfect in every way, but when it comes to relationships, he's as dense as a brick. It wears me out. Perhaps uninterested in the lecture, Marcellus stood up abruptly to head to the restroom. The moment he was out of earshot, Celeste leaned in and lowered her voice. "Actually, I originally wanted you to be my daughter-in-law, but—" She sighed heavily. "It's a pity. Marcellus, he doesn't seem to have any interest in women." My heart went cold. So that was it. I had been wondering how a man that stunning could still be single. It turned out he was playing for the other team. When Marcellus returned, the way I looked at him had shifted. I had thought having a handsome nephew would be an exciting, playful dynamic, but now it felt more like I'd acquired a sister-in-law. What a waste. Thinking about it ruined my appetite. I stared blankly at the spread of food. "What are you thinking about, Auntie?" My reverie was broken by a piece of grilled chicken landing in my bowl. I looked up to find Marcellus watching me, one brow cocked. That face, it was breathtaking, in the most exhausting way possible. Only then did I notice that Celeste had vanished. Before I could ask, Marcellus preempted me. "My mother went to the restroom." "Oh," I replied, but the air between us grew thick with awkwardness. Desperate to break the tension, I resorted to small talk. "So, where did you go to university?" "Medical school." "What's your star sign?" "Leo." I asked a question. He gave a one-word answer. The air remained stagnant. I took a nervous sip of wine and tried another angle. "So, do you read novels?" "I do." As a fellow enthusiast, I perked up instantly. "What kind of genre do you prefer?" Under my expectant gaze, Marcellus leaned back, resting one arm on the table. He looked at me with a lazy, unreadable expression and uttered 3 words: "Stepmother romance tropes."